When I say I coach pit crew athletes, and people are like, so what do you mean? And I'm like, well, like a football coach or a baseball coach is the same thing. An athlete that comes from a traditional sport, whether it's baseball, football, when they come here, I think they feel very comfortable. We practice, we watch film, we meet, we compete. We kind of repeat that process that they're very familiar with. That's why these guys can come here and be successful, due to their elite athleticism, and then we teach them how to use those tools at a high level.
They're gifted in playing football, but yet they've never been a pit crew member, so they don't quite understand it. But that's a good thing for us, because when we get them here, it's a clean slate. We teach them how to be in the racing atmosphere, Use your athleticism, we'll teach you the small things.
When they come here, they're starting over. We'll show them film of our guys, like, hey, we know that's not going to happen. Like, don't try to do what he's doing, you can't. Just focus on these important things we're teaching you.
One of the things that we look for coming in is their ability to be coached. Some kids, you can coach them harder than others. We like those kids that take instruction and make the correction after the very first time. Those are the ones that stick out and seem to be the ones that we select.
You look for good people, and then you kind of transition yourself to the athlete. We've done a really good job here throughout the years, finding out and figuring out what type of athlete fits what position.
Your tire changers were typically your receivers, defensive backs. Your fuelers were always your big O linemen or your big D linemen. So you kind of evaluate by body types.
We always work technique, and that's what they've always done in their past too. The foot quickness, the steps around the car, the body angles, the body positions, and all those different aspects that you got to use in your sport, whether it be baseball, wrestling, football, it doesn't matter what it is, but you got to use a solid technique.
No longer are they worried about running the 40-yard dash. Linear speed is not something that is important. The ability to move in small spaces, the ability to be explosive, the ability to be quick are all things that will determine their success.
We start off with a group of college seniors who aren't going to go to their next level, and if they still wanted to compete competitively at a high professional level, then that's where we would try to get them to come to our combines.
The longevity in the NFL is so short, or the CFL, or whatever you're going to be putting your body through. I mean, those are car collisions every single snap, and you don't know how long your longevity is going to be. But in this sport, if you're athletic, take care of your body, and you compete, you can stay in this sport a long, long time. And I think that that's kind of what swayed a lot of our athletes.
Our combines are basically like an NFL combine. You're just testing their physical abilities, their speed, their agility, their strength. And then the mini camp is where we actually start to coach them and teach them the tools and the techniques that they're going to need to pit race cars.
It is a methodical process. It takes time. It takes reps. It takes experience. We try to get them to the racetrack as quickly as we can. The ideal situation is for them to have a 3-day show where they pit 3 different series in one weekend to help in their development. And hopefully once they get through that particular stage, then they can distinguish themselves and then move up into our backup team and then into our cup teams.
The most rewarding part of the job is 100% watching the people that you work with have success. That just gives you that great feeling that what you're doing is helping them be successful. As a coach, that's what it comes down to. Being a part of someone else's success, really, that's what makes me feel like I'm doing something that matters.